and it hits me. It's a war between myself and Satan. Are you willing to be wrong about everything you ever knew? Could you change it? Would you change it? Would you line yourself up to the Word of God? Satan's opening line to Eve is, "Did God really say?" Hey guys, this truth is unpopular. I'm Tyler Ondercheck, and this is the series opener to the Did He Say Wars. So you're probably wondering what I mean by the Did He Say Wars. I guess before I do that, I'd like to kind of backstory. So this kind of all started with 4 or 5 years ago with if you've seen the first video I have posted, the idea that God still expects us to be partaking in His Moedim, the appointed times, His feasts, and not in man-made things like Christmas and Easter. So I guess I used to be a gullible person. If the pastor said it, I don't think I ever really bothered to look into it, because you're like, well, he's reading from the Bible, it must be right. And I'm no scholar, certainly not English major. English is barely my first language, really. Sometimes I feel like. But I feel like, so this is going to be a series. The first is going to be biblical cosmology. Second is going to be God's calendar. And after that, maybe I'll talk again about feasts, but tabernacle, or the tabernacle, the law, eating, and there's some other stuff. I'm planning to get into all that. But what I wanted to say is I feel like none of these things I found. I'll just read through it, glance by, and skim surface. But I felt like He grabbed me and just threw these topics in my face and showed it to me. I don't feel like any of them I really looked for. So why a series? So this originally was just going to be biblical cosmology, but this is actually a 2-year procrastination on the topic. So, why am I finally getting to it? So back in November, I went to a conference, and I'll get to that in part 1. But there I met a lot of people who believed the same things I did, and everybody pretty much believed the topic at hand for the conference. But what I didn't fully expect was to find people who agreed with me on this, that, and the other thing, which was really exciting. So when I came home, I felt like, he wanted me to get back into this. But later that week, I'm in the shower, which is where I usually think best, and it hits me, why do you care about these things? How do they relate to each other? And what I felt like He told me was, it's a war between myself and Satan. And it's been going since the beginning, and it will go to the end. And if you were to go to Genesis 3:1, Satan's opening line to Eve is, "Did God really say?" And I feel like that encompasses everything. So this series is to talk about all the different wars of the Did He Say, the ones that He showed me at least. Because I feel like everywhere you go, even church, and they don't even realize it, but they're fighting against what God has said. They've bought into lies about what Satan said, and it's every topic. So I kind of felt like when I started this truth journey, well, before, I used to have, selfish Tyler passions. Oh, I like doing this, that, the other thing. But once I got on this truth journey, and especially after I came across what is going to be part 1, everything changed. Before it was kind of a broad road I was on, really, I think. But he put me on a narrow path, and he realigned all my passions. And I didn't know it until then. But I'm passionate about, so for me, a lot of people are maybe like loyal to a person or a thing. I don't know if I've ever truly been like loyal to a person necessarily kind of idea. I feel like I'm loyal to an ideal. And I feel like what God showed me was his ideal. And that ideal being, this is what I said. Do you believe what they say or what I said? Regardless if it makes sense here or more sense there. It's a war. Who said what? And honestly, I'm going to follow what God said. And that's kind of what this whole series is going to be about, is the whole idea of, can you really read what he said and compare it to what man, Satan, and everybody else says? If they don't jive, which one are you going to follow? So I'm hoping that, like myself, I guess I don't expect you to change your mind about these topics. It's more of a, well, this is where I've gone, why I've gone there. But I'm hoping it plants seeds. And through that, you look into it, and he shows you, and you accept it. Because a lot of this really comes down to are you willing to be wrong about everything you ever knew? And if you are wrong about everything you ever knew, could you change it? Would you change it? Would you line yourself up to the Word of God? The truth is unpopular. Hope you join me for the whole series.